So I just wanted to make a quick video on how to remove the front cover and clean the dust filter on the Sliger CX4150i. I believe this design is the same for several of their other models, so I will try to see if I can make a list for the description. But what you'll want to do is you want to look for the lip on the faceplate. And what I tend to do is I use my fingers to kind of get under that lip, and I'll use my thumb to push on the rack here to pull the faceplate away. Once you get the other side off, in theory you should be able to just kind of crank it off diagonally, but I like to kind of use my fingernails if I can get under it, and then kind of pry on the opposite corner while prying on the side of the lip, and then the faceplate will pop off like that. Only reason I do it that way is because I'm afraid of damaging these pins. It shouldn't be a problem, but it's just paranoia on my part. One thing to keep note, if I can focus, with these pins, there is a possibility they get kind of smushed together over time and they might not engage as well with the holes. So what you can do is you can use like a razor blade, like just a regular box cutter razor blade, whatever, and you can put it in between those grooves, and then you can kind of push down into those grooves to spread out, because this is 4 separate pieces, and you don't want to spread them out that much, just a hair, just ever so slightly, and that'll make this engage a little bit tighter in the hole that it mounts into. But unless your faceplate's getting really sloppy and weird, which I don't even know if it'll happen, it's probably not something you're gonna have to worry about. But now that I have the faceplate off, you can get to the dust filter, which mine's pretty crusty. I haven't cleaned it in a while. And personally, I like to use compressed air. Do not use the canned air, because there's a good chance that the chemicals in the canned air will damage the filter material. When you do blow it out with compressed air, you want to blow it out from the opposite side of the airflow. So you want to push the air through the back of the filter, because if you push it through the front, oops, I'm getting dust everywhere. Odds are, you'll still get rid of all the dust, but now all this dust on the surface, you're just pushing it deeper into the filter, and you're embedding it in the filter, and over time it will build up. Alternatively, since this is some sort of plastic, you could take this to your sink and you could run water through it to clean it. So you could run it with your faucet above the back of the filter and just kind of run the water out through it that way. Only problem with using water to clean this is you will want to make sure you get it very dry. So if you're going to use water to clean the filter, I would plan on not being able to use the filter for, I don't know, maybe a couple days. You could also, I wouldn't recommend drying it in the sun. Maybe have a fan, like a desk fan, or just, a small box fan, blowing air over it to help the water evaporate faster. But I'm gonna clean this out real quick and show you what it looks like. Alright, so I've got it cleaned out. You can still see the outlines of the fans, and it's twofold reason why it's still kind of dusty looking like that. Part of it is I didn't pressurize my air compressor as high as I should have. You don't want to blast this with too high pressure air, just because this is a fine mesh basically, and it'll obliterate it. But also some of this dust is just embedded deeper into the filter material. That's where washing it might not be a bad idea if you really want to get it clean. Honestly, this will be clean enough. Now, luckily with my case, since I have the dry bay, this can only go in one way. Like, I can't put this in backwards or upside down because the notch won't line up right. But if you have one of the case designs that doesn't have the dry base, you may want to try to make a mental note of which side is which. So you could take something like tape with a really weak adhesive, like painter's tape, and then just put it in a non-critical spot so you know which side's front. Otherwise, over time, you're gonna run the risk of having a lot of dust build up. So yeah, we'll just slap that on there. Computer's on, so a little bit of suction holding that in for me, which is nice. Probably should have blown this out, but I don't think it's too bad. No. When you reinstall it, you want to make sure these pins line up. They will need a tiny bit of force, but not a lot. Oops, I don't have the filter quite lined up right. There we go. And you should be able to feel for it when they're lined up. There we go. And then you can grab with your fingers on the rack ear and then just use your thumb to push it in. And yeah, good to go. You couldn't even tell it was completely clogged full of dust. So hopefully I wasn't too long-winded, but I also hope it was helpful, and thanks for watching.